Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
Make sure you back up.
Yeah. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Capital City Sports Network, where tonight, from the Plex in Irmo, South Carolina, the American Collegiate Hockey Association presents the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Kennesaw State Owls. Thanks for joining us tonight, Dillon Clark, along with Zach McKinstry, and the Gamecocks coming off a huge and really meaningful win just last week in Athens against the Auburn Tigers. Zach, tell us about what an amazing spectacle that outdoor game was.
Yeah, I'm sure the boys enjoyed that outdoor game, but it's good to be home, and it was a great game, a great win for the team. Build up some momentum going into the SEC tournament, and good experience as they get to play Auburn later on this season.
With that win, the Gamecocks, as Zach said, locked up that number 3 seed in the tournament in Nashville next week. Auburn being the 6th seed, they will face each other, and really no one even knew it, but at the time, that was a trial run for the first round in Nashville.
Yeah, it's a great experience for this team, getting to know what that Auburn team is about, and with their short stint last couple years in the SEC tournament. It's good to know what the teams they're playing are about and how they play.
Shifting our attention towards tonight, Kennesaw State comes off a 2-1 win last week against the University of Alabama at Huntsville. Both teams coming off wins. They try to ride that momentum into tonight. These teams will face each other again tomorrow night, too, the first leg of a back-to-back. We had a chance to sit down and talk with the Kennesaw State head coach. He talked about how he approaches these games, and he tries to approach the first game the same every time. The second game is usually where you see the adjustments being made. Yeah, this is basically a trial game for these two teams, but that does not mean it's going to get any less physical or any less exciting. These two teams have been good all season, especially the goalie for Kennesaw State, Thurston, has been dynamite so far this year. So South Carolina's going to have to put a lot of shots on goal to try and get by him. We'll talk about players to watch tonight, and we'll start it right there. Luke Thurston, the goaltender for Kennesaw State tonight, as he has been for every single game this season. It's the first time I've seen a goalie start every single game for any team ever. Luke Thurston. You got to get used to saying this guy's name because you're going to see him a lot. Luke Thurston, 5 shutouts so far this season. The first goaltender we've seen with a save percentage over 900. And the Gamecocks are going to have to get a lot of guys to the net, a lot of traffic in front if they're going to want to beat Thurston.
Absolutely. Like I was saying, he has been dynamite all year, and it's going to be tough for this Gamecocks offense to try and get by him tonight. Need to be aggressive in the offensive zone and put a lot of shots on net.
At the other end for South Carolina, Zach Lynch will be starting in goal tonight, but the player to watch for the Gamecocks will certainly be Ian Powderly. 2 goals the other night against the Auburn Tigers. He's on a point-scoring streak. Powderly's been all over the ice, and if there's one player that Kennesaw State's going to have to try and contain, it's going to be Ian Powderly.
Absolutely. Powderly has been really good the last couple of games, and he needs to keep that momentum up to try and encourage this team to a big win tonight.
We'll send you to a break, and when we come back, we will have the first period here on the Capital City Sports Network presented by SGTV. Here to the Capital City Sports Network, where you just saw the anthems and open ceremonies here at the Plex. Notable players out there that you don't usually see: Braden Connolly and Dillon Ravioli taking the pregame skate. Members of the Columbia Cyclones here, youth hockey program, taking part in the warm-up with these Gamecocks. Just really a unique experience for them. The brainchild of head coach Alan Surwa. Really just a fun moment for all of them. We are just about underway here. Starting in goal for the Gamecocks, Zach Lynch. 6-1 this season, 4.43 goals against average, and 809 save percentage. At the other end, Luke Thurston for the Kennesaw State Owls, 12-6, 3.02 goals against average, a 912 save percentage, 5 shutouts to his credit. And as the boys skate out here to the face-off dot, some new deep pairings to go here tonight. Brian Soar skates with Dominic Centracchio rather than Nick Peters. Up front, it'll be Hawkinson, Powderly, and Ben Smith. Here at the Plex, we are down and we are underway here, and the Owls take control right off the opening hop. Mitchell Bright, a backhander, wouldn't really get towards the net there. Soar chips this one up off the boards. And Bright holds this one back into the blue line. Underneath, Corey Hawkinson. They try to swat away, that it comes loose on the side of the net, and a cover there from Zach Lynch. First face-off of the game, very soon early here. 19:41 to go in period number 1. Bit of a miscue there. Mason Bright. We got two Brights on the team. Brothers Mitchell and Mason. That was the confusion there. Mason wearing number 20 all the way out of the blue line. Mitchell wearing number 2. And a defensive zone face-off win for the Gamecocks, but Owls come right through. Work back down and chip back in. Owls still onside. Shot there, save made by Zach Lynch. Where's the puck? It's loose. They blow the whistle. And we'll have another face-off here. 19:31 to go. That was a quick shot there. Coming off the stick of their leading scorer, Jeremy Van Dekkerkove. 17 goals, 16 assists for 33 points this season. A great shot there by Van Dekkerkove.
And we've talked a lot in a couple previous games about Lynch's rebound control. And it looks like he didn't know where that puck was, but luckily it was blown dead. And now a face-off in the zone.
D Duncan Hickman playing that left side with Nick Peters. Intercepted at center ice, though. These two teams haven't played in almost 3 years. Duncan Hickman talked a little bit about it before the game. It got pretty intense in Kennesaw State. An electric rivalry here is out to the far side. Van Dekkerkove has it. Looks back to the point, over that Cyclones logo. Down low to Bright. Mason sends it down low. Slot shot. Big save there by Zach Lynch. Taking out that left hand. Another shot and blocker save by Lynch again. Jake Tenji touches that one down to his skates. 2 big stops here by Zach Lynch early on. They sky this one out. Bobby Van Dusen after it, but he can't get to it in time. Regroup here now by the Owls. Solid collision there by Nick Peters, playing his high school hockey in Buffalo. And now here comes Bobby Van Dusen. A shovel pass, never got to the net. Underneath, Pizzo. Back out up top, kicked at by Nick Peters, and he couldn't touch it there. Now Van Dekkerkove back down that left side. Peters goes right after it. Van Dekkerkove looks towards the slot, comes out, waits and holds on back to the point now. Long shot, tipped in front into the glass and behind Zach Lynch there, never saw it. Contact there with Peters. Underneath it, comes off a skate. Chance here for the Owls, comes back in front, a long shot, right from that near side face-off circle, and again blocked into the corner. Gamecocks go to the air once more. Glove down, and again, back comes Kennesaw State. They'll have to wait and touch up here on the offsides. That'll give Duncan Hickman some time to come back and try to schedule a breakout here. Fantastic athleticism there by the official. Now a chance ahead by Bobby Van Dusen as the official hops over that puck. And the Gamecocks have it. Nice move to the outside there by Dave Murray, but he couldn't hang on to the puck. Dave Murray in after it once more. Murray with Oakley in front, and Pizzo couldn't get a swat on that. Popped back down once again. Gamecocks in after it, still looking for their first shot on the goaltender, Lucas Thurston. Underneath they work it. Ronan Egan facing some pressure, still has some time though. 2 Owls on 2 Gamecocks. Back out to the point now. Oakley a shot, tipped in front. A blocker save there by Thurston. All the way back down here. Oakley trying to let his defensive partner know that he's got pressure coming. Up ahead to the alternate captain, Nick Pizzo. Pizzo in on the forecheck. This puck will drift in on Thurston. He'll get a cover and a face-off here. Just a little over 17 minutes to go in the first period.
Yeah, time of possession here early on has been tilting towards the Owls. A lot of chances for the Owls down low, but big saves there early on from Zach Lynch, and Gamecocks turned around and had a chance on the other end.
We've seen a lot of times where the opposition comes into Irmo here, gets a few early shots on. They beat the Carolina goaltender early, and it shifts the mentality completely. Those saves early on by Lynch are huge in establishing a basis here in this hockey game and establishing your confidence early on. Turnover in Kennesaw territory, and then on the forecheck is Ronan Egan. A clapper there, a big save. Goes into the corner off the stick of Dylan Jacob. in the other direction now. Swivels it out to the backhand there. Off the stick of Drew Spazinski, leading Kennesaw State in penalty minutes with 74. As this shot off the stick of Mason Bright ends up in the glove of Zach Lynch for another face-off. We talked about that in the pregame show. All these guys with penalty minutes. They got 3 players with 50 or more penalty minutes. And when you're playing, 20, 25 games, that's a lot of penalty minutes.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive Kennesaw State team. And from what we heard from Hickman in the locker room, last time they played, there was a lot of bad blood. Hopefully it doesn't boil over with the new players on the rosters here. But expect an aggressive game.
Soar wraps this one around. Luke Woodman's going to be expected to take it, but he can't get to it as Mason Bright gets there first. Rodman in after. He goes down. Kicked back onto the point. Mason Bright thought he had that puck, but not entirely sure. Now he'll let one go. That hits Soar in front. And Soar's going to chip it out over the blue line. Again, Kennesaw coming up with it in neutral territory. D to D they go, and they'll try to bring it back in as Mason Bright gains the red line and flips it back in. Right on Zach Lynch. A short hopper right in front of the goal line. Comes back to Brian Soar. Up off the high glass. Another one hopper out in neutral territory. Kept away from the control of the Gamecocks. Stick handling through their own players. And Kennesaw going to have to wind up another breakout here. Into the zone, Teasdale. Soar wrists it around. Dylan Jacob can't get there. Alan Surwa really liked the effort that his team put out against the Auburn Tigers just last week. And a slow start to this game as this puck just passed Zach Lynch. Ryan Soar again wrists one out to center ice, and Kennesaw's got it again. Up off the glass. The frustration starting to mount here for South Carolina. Blake Drummond. Centering pass just goes off the stick of Ian Powderly. The officials rule it's no icing. The Gamecocks at least get it out of their own zone. Near side pass, and the Owls trying to break this one out. Hustling down that far side, Ian McDonald wearing the A for Kennesaw State. McDonald turns back, heads it out to the point. Long wrister, tipped in front, and kicked out by Zach Lynch. Rebound shot, stave, and it trickles almost over the goal line, just off that goalpost. Nice play by Nick Peters to keep that puck from going in. Inches away, that puck just drifting past Zach Lynch off the goalpost, and Peters makes a nice heads-up play to get it in behind the goal line. Hawkinson and Hickman team up to try and pin this puck against the boards. Movement is scarce right now. Peters stands guard in front of that as this puck finally comes free. Peters gets in after it. Gamecocks Ben Smith. And again, it is Peters. Headman pass. Held into the line there by Gagne. Long wrister in the slot. Save made. Rebound still loose. Lynch is out. And the puck just drifting wide of a vacated net. Zach Lynch getting lucky a few times here early on. Gagne keeps it in. Nick Peters. Gagne in his face. He shoots it off of Gagne and almost kept in the line. Now 2-on-1 for South Carolina. Ian Powderly with Ben Smith. Here comes Powderly. Tries to send it for Smith. Shoots one, and a big save there by Thurston. Great opportunity for the Gamecocks, but a solid push moving left to right, and Thurston's got that puck covered.
Yeah, Dylan, a lot of the games we've seen so far this season have been breaks for the Gamecocks after a good play on the defensive end. That one, puck is finally cleared after a Lynch save, and a 2-on-1 break. Good shot and a good save by Thurston.
Cam Mecca lined up directly behind Jake Tenzie on this face-off. And the Gamecocks will win it back, and Tyler Oakley's going to get it. Shot goes into the corner. Oakley usually out with Avery Pruden. Tonight he's paired with Evan Hoey as Pruden among the scratches, as well as Zach Weeks, Alex Siegfried, and Colin Anderson still nursing that hairline fracture in his shoulder. He will miss the tournament in Nashville. As the Gamecocks bring in, trying to be stepping around there, but it comes all the way back over, and Kennesaw's going to pick it up. Pinching in is Evan Hoey now. Hoey can't get it. Kennesaw's going to move it out to the near side, and this time Mitchell Bright. Bright watched closer there by Oakley. They'll get it out as far as center ice, and the Owls will drop back into their own zone with Oakley pinching up. Some heavy forecheck here by the defender, Tyler Oakley. Pays off here. Gamecocks have the puck. And it will be Oakley chipping this puck in as we just about past that 13.5-minute mark. Scoreless game so far here in Irmo. Gamecocks' first game back after the outdoor classic down in Athens. Georgia and Clemson played a similar game. It was a turning shot there. Just goes wide. The Dogs and Tigers of Clemson playing on that outdoor rink in Athens, and some confusion here as the Gamecocks get a line change. It was a 10-5 win for the Bulldogs against Coach Loughran and his Tigers. The Tigers not a part of the SEC this year, but next year they will be, and if they play well enough, they will be a part of that SEC tournament. This puck back out at center, Dominic Centracchio. Brian Soar wants that puck. Soar, backhander up off the glass, slap back in. Nice stick save there by Zach Lynch from about 140 feet. Right down the gut. Icing will be called as soon as this puck is touched. Mason Bright on the touch, still looking for a chance here offensively. As Mason Bright had a couple of good looks at the net. We'll bring it back down. Bright's going to have another chance.
And this has been a rare first period so far for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Usually, so far this season, we've seen a lot of offense in the first period, a lot of chances on net in a lot of our games, and a lot of South Carolina games. And in this one, Kennesaw State Owls have taken control of the offensive zone and the time of possession.
Shot by Bright, went off a leg. Van Dekkerkove had it for a moment, but it's held into the line and wristed back in. Underneath is McDonald again for Kennesaw State. Brian Soar for South Carolina. Now turning shot, Van Dekkerkove shot, hit the outside of the net. McDonald on the rebound though. Big chance in front. As going down is Ronan Egan. A turning shot again. Centering pass never got in front. And another shot, save made by Lynch. Rebound, they score! Zach Lynch makes the first save. John Testino pokes home the rebound. And Kennesaw out to a 1-0 lead here.
We've talked about it all season, Dillon, that rebound control. Troubles by both goalies for South Carolina trying to hold on to the puck after the first shot. And that we see a good example of it there. Shot left out in front and a wide open, easy tap-in goal for Kennesaw State there.
Zach Lynch lost track of that puck as soon as it hit his equipment. Testino did not. That puck laying right there on a silver platter for him. He pokes that one home. It's his 10th of the year. And Kennesaw out to a 1-0 lead here. It was a low-scoring game their last time around against University of Alabama Huntsville. Don't know exactly what the score of this one is going to be come the end of the third period, but we got one at least. Physicality picking up here, motoring on ahead. They'll flub it back in. 11:42 to go here in the first period. Kennesaw State out recently to a 1-0 lead. Ben Smith for South Carolina shovels it into the middle. Whacked out there by Ian Powderly, and the Owls will wrist it back in once more. Nick Peters after for the Gamecocks. Peters can't hang on to that puck. Ben Smith's going to have to bail out once again. Some deja vu here in the near side South Carolina corner. Corey Hawkinson over for Duncan Hickman. Stretch pass never got to its intended target. Offsides. The Owls will have to touch up. Peters finds a man on the far side. Out over that blue line, wristed in, and a glove save there by Thurston. He will hang on for a face-off. An offensive zone draw coming up here for the Gamecocks.
Some pretty hard shots here early on from both sides. Doesn't look like it's going to be easy on either of these goalies, but certainly Thurston has proved up to the challenge with 5 shutouts so far this year. And Lynch hasn't played bad himself, but he does need to work on that rebound control like we've been talking about.
Zach Lynch, notably one of the smaller goaltenders we've seen here in South Carolina. Makes your positioning and rebound control all that much more important when you take up just that little bit smaller area of the net. Puck off the glass here, and they're going to whistle this one down. The puck stayed in play, but the official's going to say it came out. And we'll have a face-off back here in the face-off dot just outside the South Carolina zone.
Looked like a bit of a premature whistle there, but we are going to have the face-off here.
Infrastructure here at the Plex, not entirely 100%. Those panes of glass, mostly trustworthy. The official just erring on the side of caution. This puck wristed back in by Kennesaw. Gamecocks on the regroup. They love that bounce pass out into neutral territory, but no one's home. These passes just are not connecting so far. Evan Ho will pick it up for South Carolina. Turnover right around in front. There's going to be a chance for the Owls. A shot just goes wide. Off the stick there, Max Haas. Haas going to go back down underneath. And they'll give some pressure there. Luke Rudman. Another centering pass just past the stick there. Matt Owen could not get a touch on it. Owen did not play against Auburn. He is in the lineup here tonight. Just 1 assist so far to his credit. One of the more effective players in terms of creating energy. He's skating on the 4th line tonight, down with Dillon Jacob on his left and Luke Rudman on his right. 4th line, more often than not, an energy line for South Carolina. They might not get the goal, but they certainly develop some momentum for these Gamecocks. As it's going to be Jacob flipping it up into the air. Rudman trying to get there with Van Dekkerkove. And it's going to come free now to Corey Hawkinson. He's taken down. Hawkinson back up with it though. Gets it free to Luke Rudman on the backhand. He'll be shepherded into that corner, though. And now a slot chance for Dillon Jacob. He shoots one, and that one gloved and held. A nice stop there as Luke Thurston flashes the leather.
You know, wonderful pass to set up that play there. Great pass to the open man, open shot, and a good save by Thurston. Something that we should be saying a lot this game if his reputation holds up.
Gamecocks in the midst of a line change there, and they were still able to find that open man, effectively short-handed in the offensive zone. 9:56 to go in the opening period. 1-0 thanks to a chance in front, and Van Duzen shoots when he scores!
Goes in.
Bobby Van Duzen, the Gamecocks tie the game up here at 1. Just past the 10-minute mark of the first period.
Good hustle play, looping around the back of the goal, sending that one into the slot, and something's going to happen when you have a pass that good. Good shot up front, may or may not have been deflected, but that one looked like it bounced off a pad of Thurston and went in.
Should
Tie
Bobby
ball
Van
game.
Duzen be credited with that goal? It'll be his third in the last 2 games. He had 2 goals and an assist against Auburn. Corporate Bob on the board here for South Carolina. Peters off the draw. They'll move it D-to-D back to Duncan Hickman. Kennesaw pressuring with 3 men right now. Off the boards, Nick Peters having a little bit of trouble handling that puck in the early stages of this game. Back he goes to the veteran Hickman. Up off the glass, just past the stick there of Cam Mecca, rolling slowly. You know who's not going slowly? Jake Tenji. Beats out the icing. What a move there by Tenji. That shot up off the stick of Thurston, going to come down? No. Cam Mecca the shot. He goes tumbling into the slot area as the puck ends up behind the goal. Jake Tenji nursing that leg injury, but he seems fine right now. Look at the wheels on him to start this period. Picked up and ahead now. Van Duzen chips it in. Can't get it out past the red line. Now a chance here for Kennesaw. Shot off a leg there. Big opportunity there by Evan Deere. Deere still with it underneath. Wearing 19 right for Kennesaw. Chance in front as Lynch was sprawled out. That puck goes on to the far side, and Ronan Egan finds Bobby Van Duzen. Van Duzen through center and dumps it back in. Thurston back to get it for Kennesaw. Peters on pressure for South Carolina. Held into the line there. Gamecocks pitch and catch there at the line. Ronan Egan still has it. Can he hang on to it though? Egan able to keep it in, and now turning is Nick Pizzo. In the slot, it goes wide. All the way back down, and Dave Murray's going to have a few Owls to contend with. Long sky chance, and a bouncing puck settles nicely right at the feet of Blake Drummond. He goes over to Soar, who has some trouble, and Soar wrists it back out towards neutral territory. Back the other way come the Owls. Max Haas shoots that one just wide. It comes off the boards awkwardly there. Punched back below the goal line by Zach Lynch. One touch doesn't connect there for the Gamecocks. The Owls will control once again. Just about 8 to go here in the first period. They'll go to the near side. Max Haas redirected, and Blake Drummond finds Brian Soar. Soar's got him at the red line, and he instead decides to throw this one up to Nick Pizzo. And again, icing waved off as Pizzo in hard after this one. On the reverse, it's going to be Ronan Egan. Egan with pressure, along with Dave Murray, but Egan's got it. Egan at that faceoff, not a shot. Save made by Thurston. Rebound comes loose. Back out to Blake Drummond. D-to-D. Soar shoots one. Tipped in front. Loose again. Can't tuck it in his Dave Murray. They poke for it. A whistle finally. Thurston's got that puck covered somewhere. And through the chaos, we'll have a whistle.
A lot of action on that shift right there, Dillon. A couple big shots out in front. Bodies in front of the goal. And boy, that was exciting. Good job by Thurston expanding those legs, covering up both the corners, and Dave Murray couldn't poke it in.
Thurston made the initial shot, or the initial save, off the Soar shot, which was tipped about halfway to the goal. Couldn't quite handle the rebound there, and a golden opportunity for Dave Murray. And they'll just keep poking away here. Ben Smith leaves it for Evan Hoey. Hoey shoots one, knocked down in the slot area, and the Owls have it in South Carolina territory. 3 men strong, they come out wide. They got a man breaking, shooting one. Save made by Lynch. The rebound cleared out by the Gamecock defenders. Back to the blue line now. Centering pass again. Van Dekkerkove couldn't get a handle on it. Wristing one ahead. Ben Smith in after for the Gamecocks. Icing if Smith does not beat it. But he does. It's going to be Smith again. That's 3 icings that the Gamecocks have beaten out here. Smith with Hawkinson. Out to the point. Hoey's got it. Hoey holds it in barely. Tipped in front. A blocker save there by Thurston. Didn't see that puck until it was right on top of him. In the corner now. Corey Hawkinson. In it for South Carolina. Kennesaw had 3 men below the goal line there, but they're fortunately able to get it out. Swatted out of midair. Some nice hand-eye coordination there by the Gamecocks. Hawkinson brings it ahead. Save made there by Thurston off a low shot. Sticked into the corner. Thurston stopping Corey Hawkinson. Gamecocks will be in the midst of a change. Luke Rudman on the forecheck for South Carolina. Skates right around Thurston. The puck comes up. Tyler Oakley not afraid to pinch in. Back after it is going to be Rudman. Oakley's got it. He'll throw it back in and take a heavy hit there. Dishing out the physicality, Ian McDonald. Far side. McDonald's got it for Kennesaw. Glove down to the stick there. Nice play by Jeremy Van Dekkerkamp. And again, back the other direction comes Luke Rudman. Rudman sees 4 Owls there. It's wristed to the far side corner by Tyler Oakley. And after it will be Dillon Jacob. Underneath again. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the first period. Tie game thanks to Bobby Van Duzen. Underneath, they'll still go after Jake Tenji filling in on the point area. Puck loose, Tenji able to hold it in. And he's going to keep going after it. Jake Tenji cuts to the slot on his back end, tries to drop it off for Oakley. Oakley throws it to the far side there and hopes that Jacob picks it up. Dillon Jacob got something caught in the equipment of one of the Owls as this puck goes up into the netting. And another whistle, another offensive zone faceoff for the Gamecocks. They're getting the shots, they're getting the opportunities, and they're getting chances to be set up here in the offensive zone.
Yeah, Dylan, they're finally starting to keep the puck in the offensive zone and create chances. But one thing that we have seen is stretch passes in the defensive zone that don't necessarily connect, but the hustle by the Gamecocks to beat out these icings and create chances on the offensive side is something that we haven't necessarily seen all season.
Gamecocks just seeming to default to those aerial passes. They're suffering a low rate of success on those. But as Zach said, the hustle certainly making it at least a little bit more effective for them, rather than if they weren't skating at all. Held in at the blue line, but briefly. Ronan Egan chips this one off the board. It's going to be picked up by Dave Murray. Murray plays it off the dasher. Can't get it through. They'll have to touch up and bring it back ahead. Nick Peters. Peters out of the skates of Nick Pizzo. Out to the far side. Ronan Egan on that right wing. Curls back. What's he going to do? He goes back down low to Dave Murray. Murray, 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points so far this year. A big hit there by Dave Murray. He's getting in after it. One of the smaller Gamecocks. Not afraid to throw his weight around either way. And now a penalty here. As a chance by Dave Murray goes off the outside of the goalpost. We'll see what the charges will be with 4:44 to go. Looks like the official signaled a trip. And I'm about 90% sure it's going to go against the Gamecocks here. They will be shorthanded for the first time tonight. Our first penalty of the game.
And Gamecocks with an opportunity to test their penalty kill. It's been good of late, but like we were saying, it's not necessarily good to be tested too many times on that penalty kill. So a big test for the Gamecocks here, and we'll see what they're up against.
Duncan Hickman's going to take a seat here for South Carolina. One of their big guys on the penalty kill is going to be in the box for this one. 4:44 to go here in the first period. First power play of the game for either team, and Kennesaw State has it. Deer goes far side point. Right around in front, and Cam Mecca's got it. He's got Van Duzen and transition. Here comes Van Duzen. He's got to step through the neutral zone. Bobby Van Duzen shoots one. A big blocker save there by Thurston. Van Duzen took a chance, and Thurston stoned him cold. Van Duzen again in after it. It's tumbling in the boards as one of the Owls. Near side, it comes to McDonald. McDonald back out to the point. Van Dekkerkamp goes down low. McDonald in front, can't get to it. A backhand shot, and it's stopped by Soar, and the net knocked off. What's the call going to be here? Nobody has signaled a goal. Nobody has signaled anything. That puck hit Soar, but we got fans cheering as if that puck went into the net. A bit hard to tell from up here. And we will wait to see this one sorted out. Nobody's going out to that center ice face-off dot. It's going to be no goal. Looked like a huge block there by Brian Soar to keep it a 1-1 game.
Yeah, big open net there, and Soar with a great IQ to block off that shot.
Van Dekkerkamp all along the near side point. Goes back down low, and they go underneath. McDonald in the slot area. Shot blocked there. Nice play by Cam Mecca. Blocking an opportunity there from Justin Berezinski. In front of the Gamecock bench. They'll try to play from their knees. Centracchio's got it. Kennesaw offsides, and Soar sends this one down in and out of the glove there. And Deer's going to have it as far as center ice. Deer tries to curl it out to his backhand there, gets it swatted off his stick, as we are just under 50 to go here on this Kennesaw power play. The Owls will wind it up from in behind Thurston. Centering pass, never got to its intended target. Drummond gets it all the way down. And Tristan Gagne is going to have to break it out again for Kennesaw. Owls with some of the more unusual uniforms we've seen. Gray on top, black in the middle, white on the bottom. We got white numbers here on white with a gold outline. Makes it a bit difficult to see from where we are. And while you're right next to us, you probably can't see it that well either. Spazinski on the near side. Not the new side, it's been there for a while. Gagne, back down low. Spazinski gonna try and get it. He watches that puck go right by him. Blake Drummond around to get it for South Carolina. He'll chip it out as far as Jake Tenji. Drummond's got it, shoots that one almost off Kyle Gratzky, the backup goaltender for South Carolina tonight. Off the glass, killed is the penalty. Out of the box is Duncan Hickman. He's replaced by Evan Hoey. He went right to the bench. Hoey off the dasher. Hoey takes a solid collision there. And back the other way comes McDonald for Kennesaw. McDonald on the backhand, stymied there by Blake Drummond. 2.5 to go here in the first. McDonald battling against multiple Gamecocks there. He gets help, puck comes out in the slot. Backhand play, nice feed there, almost to McDonald. Van Dekkerkove has it, couldn't get a shot on goal. Pizzo's got it. Pizzo booking it for the Owls zone. Down that right side, Nick Pizzo beats a defender. Doesn't hang on to the puck though. Pizzo still in after it. Lost the puck now. Dave Murray has it poked off his stick. And again, Kennesaw has it. Centering pass for the Gamecocks. Loose in front. Bit of a dangerous play made there. We get it all the way around to James Barrett. Off that inside board again. Tyler Oakley pinching in for South Carolina. Oakley goes down. Rodman's going to fill in on his right point area as this puck drifts out towards center. D-to-D pass almost intercepted there by Barrett. Back in for Nick Peters. Peters not afraid to use his mobility in the game last week against Auburn. He's been a little bit more of a stay-at-home defenseman tonight. As the game goes on, I'm sure we'll see that change. Puck swatted down. Ben Smith drops it for Corey Hawkinson, and Hawkinson gets dropped himself as the puck goes down underneath. Gamecocks having trouble getting out of their zone early on. Not the case so far in the latter stages. Now turning his Rodman a shot. Save made, loose in front, and swatted out of trouble there. Picked up there by Haas. Haas gets it out as far as center. Barrett's going to carry on. Barrett a long shot. Saved by Lynch with a rebound right there, and Lynch gets bowled over. We got a delayed penalty here. Now a chance the other way for the Gamecocks. Lynch tries to gather his goal stick. This delayed call touched up. We're going to have a penalty here as Mitchell Bright went right into the goaltender. Going to get 2 for goaltender interference. The Gamecocks will go to their first power play. Or charge. The official signal a charge there. I've never seen a charging penalty against the goaltender, but either way, that's what we've got. Gamecocks will have an abbreviated power play to cap off the first period.
Yeah, Bright certainly not happy, wanting some answers from the officials here. But boy, Lynch got ran into there. He got hit pretty hard. Big penalty kill for the Gamecocks. They had the best chance on the Kennesaw State penalty, shorthanded the other way. And now they have the opportunity, last minute of the period, to try and get something going offensively and try and take this lead back.
Mitchell Bright sees penalty minute number 53 and 54 counted against him. He's good for at least 2 a game, and he's made good on that promise tonight. Back out to Peters. The Gamecocks on the power play. Soar at that far side point. They go near side. Fake back to Nick Peters. Peters for Murray. Top of the circles. Shoots one. Never got to the net. Dave Murray swats at that one one-handed. It pops all the way back up in the air. 3 Gamecocks come in to try and get that puck. Peters works it out, though. Down low. Back in front. Intended pass there. Comes free to Dave Murray. Murray diving. Gets that puck. Moves it back down to the slot area. Dave Murray all over the ice here in this first period as Brian Soar's going to wind it back up from the red line. Dave Murray, the rover, on this power play. Nick Peters has it. Back for Murray. Murray out there with Ben Smith. This puck flipped all the way back down on Zach Lynch. Kennesaw going to get a chance here on the kill. Lynch got to move this puck, though. Intercepted right in front of the net. A shot. Just missed the goal. Backhanded by McDonald off after a absent-minded play there by Zach Lynch. Another shot kicked out by Lynch. May have gotten the blocker on it. Lynch again makes the save. Short-handed. The clock hits 0 as the Gamecocks escape this period. All tied up at 1. When we come back, we will have the first intermission. When the Gamecocks come back for the second period, they will still have 1 minute and 5 seconds of power play time to contend with. When we come back here, the first intermission on the Capital City Sports Network presented by SGE TV. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. This is the first intermission recap. Dillon Clark with Zach McKinstry. A 1-1 hockey game after 20 minutes here. The Gamecocks in a good place now at the end of the period, not in a great position when they started the period, though.
Yeah, the Gamecocks had really struggled in time of possession. Kennesaw State was all over the offensive zone. Zach Lynch came up big, though. He was the bright spot in that early on in the first period.
Lynch making a few stops early on, but the goal by Kennesaw State seemed to really wake both teams up, both groups of players making more chances, taking more risks, and really, I think because of that Kennesaw goal, Bobby Van Dusen responds right away for the Gamecocks.
Absolutely, yeah. The Gamecocks instantly had a burst of energy, got a lot of pucks into the offensive zone and a lot of chances up front, and Bobby Van Dusen certainly got this team going as they really kept the momentum throughout the rest of the first period. Shots
right now 11-10 in favor of the Owls. The Gamecocks testing their goalie and testing the opposition's goalie just as much. Thurston not going to get shutout number 6 on the season yet, but a win is still on the table for both teams. And Brian Soar, we'll talk about a big defensive play there. Soar coming in and denying a Shore goal on the penalty kill there for South Carolina.
Yeah, Lynch had made the save and couldn't quite get over yet, and Soar with a great IQ to fill up the net and block that puck, and then the goal coming off its post, to end that play. But yeah, great play by Soar to keep this game 1-1.
It's been even every step of the way. We don't expect that to change anytime soon. Gamecocks will have 1 minute and 5 seconds on the power play to contend with when they come back for the second period. And we're going to go to a break, and that's when we'll come back for the second period here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back for period number 2 here on the Capital City Sports Network. We're going to get right down into it here. Gamecocks still about a minute to go on this power play. They'll work it back out. Bobby Van Duzen, the goal scorer for the Gamecocks in the first period. Assists come to, you guessed it, Cam Mecca and Jake Tenges. Powderly's going to bring this one in. Circles around behind the goal. Goes back out to the far side point. Nick Peters back down for Powderly. Top of the circles, they go goal line. Turning shot goes off a skate there. Sword creeping down low. Turning shot again. Kicked right out of the crease there by Luke Thurston. Stopped by Zach Lynch. Gamecocks come ahead with speed. It's Peters. Through the neutral zone. Goes outside of Powderly. Peters gets the face-off dot. Still goes down low. At the goal stripe now. Backhander. Powderly. Doesn't have many options now. He'll just hang on to that puck. Watch closely there by Haas. Underneath it comes. Wristed back all the way around. Hawkins is going to have to hear it here on the near side wall. Haas and Peters comes up with the puck. Bodied off of it temporarily, and now it's going to be Ian Powderly underneath. Penalty has expired. We are back at even strength. D-to-D underneath, a stretch pass, batted out of the air. Wonderful hand-eye there by Nick Peters. A high stick, but either way, what a play there by Peters.
Yeah, that one could have prevented a pretty big rush there. One-on-one chance, and good pass, but great hand-eye coordination to keep that puck from going too far down the ice.
Gamecocks go 0 for 1 on the power play so far, and it's a bit difficult when you have a power play broken up by intermission like that. If you can't get it started, can't get your rhythm going on the first half of it, it's even more difficult to get your rhythm coming right out of the locker room, and really not much time to really set anything up there. The Gamecocks, honestly, they're lucky they got even one opportunity away. In Gamecock territory, it comes for the Owls, though. A wrist shot goes off of Jake Tenji into the corner. Tenji's going to smack this one around. In after it is Hawkinson. Hawkinson takes a bit of a trip there. And again, they go behind their own goal line. Flipped up and out. And a stretch pass just avoids Cam Mecca, but Mecca's in after it, almost alone, and icing called there, but Cam Mecca was right on top of that puck. 18-14 to go here in the second. The Gamecocks will have this puck brought all the way back down on an icing call, and nobody in the Plex is happy about it right now.
Dillon, I guess Mecca was moving so fast the ref just didn't see him.
Mecca goes supersonic. They'll bring it out at center ice. Officials recognizing their mistake, and I guess that's the best they can do is a center ice faceoff for South Carolina, which Kennesaw wins. They'll flip this one back in. Icing not called this time. The Gamecocks have it, but only temporarily. Comes back around. Centracchio's going to have to come after for South Carolina. Near side off the scrum. They'll bring it back out. Gamecocks work it out through center. Rister from the top of the circles catches the glass. Kennesaw's got it. Mecca can't get to it. Through center now, Aaron Barnett. Barnett to the far side, wearing 53 tonight for Kennesaw. In those gray, white, and black jerseys. Goaltender comes out to play it. He'll get it out away as far as center. Aaron Teasdale. Teasdale's got a centering pass. Never hit Zach Lynch. It's blocked. Hoey's got it now. Evan Hoey works ahead and a turnover now. Teasdale again. Shoots one. Save made by Lynch. The rebound comes out into the slot. And the Gamecocks have it headed the opposite direction. Dave Murray backhands it ahead to himself. Murray can't pick that puck up. He's got to touch up. Pizzo can't get to the puck. And Kennesaw's got it after a beautiful line rush there by South Carolina. In friendly territory. Egan's got it. That puck came out off sides very late there, but rightfully called. Officials having to take a second to catch up to the speed of the game here. Lulled into a false sense of security as we have had long periods of time with no action. Then all of a sudden it just explodes into chances at either end.
Yeah, Kennesaw State with a chance recently after a defensive mistake by Evan Hoey. But good save by Lynch and net, and this game remains 1-1.
On the back end, the Owls move this one back ahead. They come 3 men strong. Now to the far side. Van Dekkerkove shoots one, takes it to the goal, and he scores! What a play there! Jeremy Van Dekkerkove to the goal and tucks it between the wickets on Zach Lynch. Goes flying into the corner, and Kennesaw out to a 2-1 lead here with 16:49 to go in the period.
Incredible play to keep that puck on their backhand. So many times we see that, and players will blow a tire and just slip and fly into the boards, but he held his ground there. Great control on the backhand and slipped it past Lynch and net.
Van Dekkerkove looking like a right-handed version of that Bobby Orr goal from so many years ago. Bobby flying through the air to tuck that one home and win the Stanley Cup for the Bruins. Van Dekkerkove goes airborne to give Kennesaw a 2-1 lead here in the second. Gamecocks keep it back in here. They were inspired by Kennesaw's first goal. We'll see how they react to the second one here. Far side, the intensity picking up already. Luke Rudman, in after it is Matt Owen. On the assists of that goal, John Testino, as well as Aaron Tisdale. Behind their own net, they will operate. Bringing it back out, Berezynski. Tipped in neutral territory, comes back for no icing. Lynch is going to touch this one. And now a backhander stopped there by Lynch. He gets bullied off his goalpost, ends up flying halfway out of the crease. Back to the point now, shot off a skate, loose in the slot. Lynch is flopping around in goal. Gamecocks have it though as far as center. Lost. And Justin Berezynski goes D to D, but an intercepted pass there by Blake Drummond. They'll just chip this one in on the backhand. Luke Rudman after for South Carolina. Kept in there by Dillon Jacob. Rudman on the backhand, a centering pass. Hawkinson just put that a few feet wide of the goalpost. Underneath, Rudman again, partial unit change for South Carolina. Hawkinson, only member of that second line that is currently out of the ice. Now Rudman goes for a change. Curling chance there, and Deer's got it, but he's got it back in the slot. Deer shoots one. Oh, and he scores! No! Off the crossbar. That puck stayed out. A ripper from Deer goes barred down and stays out of the net. Long shot goes wide. Into the corner. Kennesaw can't keep it in. What a play there. You saw the flex on the stick there of Deer. That puck going 90 miles an hour. Bar out. Bright's got it on the near side. This time it is Mitchell. Mason on the bench. Underneath it comes. Ben Smith's going to have to come back and get it for South Carolina. Smith skating on the second line tonight with Ian Powderly and Corey Hawkinson. The aforementioned Powderly wrists this one out as far as center. Ben Smith's got it. Only for a second there. Saw Ben Smith. Kept in there at the line there. Ian Powderly curls back, top of the circle. Powderly takes a slash. He still got it. Has a puck knocked off his stick. He's cross-checked there and a delayed penalty. Gamecocks will go for another power play here. High sticking the call. Kennesaw goes down a man.
Boy, oh boy, did the entire Plex just take a sigh of relief after that shot. Great puck movement by Kennesaw State to set up the open man down there. And boy, what a wrister that went bar south and somehow stayed out of the net. Zach Lynch's best friend, the crossbar there, and now South Carolina with a chance on the penalty.
Drew Spazinski, team leader with 74 penalty minutes, going to go sit for 2 more to make him 76. Spazinski in the box. The Gamecocks go to the power play. They got Van Duzen out with Jake Tenji and Cam Mecca. On the point will be Nick Peters and Brian Soar. Wheeling in now is Cam Mecca. Loses that puck. Tenji in after a man goes down. And Van Duzen below the goal line. Cam Mecca helping him out. Van Duzen and Mecca, all 3 Gamecock forwards below the goal line. Mecca has it, and now it's Van Duzen. Point now. Peters walks in, gets to the top of the circle, goes back down. Players hit the ice in front. A lot of room in the central area for the Gamecocks. Battle in front. Gamecocks getting bullied in front. A long shot tipped there. Never got to the net
action
there.
down low.
And now still no penalty. In front it comes now. Van Duzen the shot. Big save there. Rebound is loose. Still they poke for it. Loose in front. Now finally a play. A whistle. Van Duzen put it into the net after the play. The official finally going to send someone off here for a penalty. It's going to be Justin Berezynski. He's got an assist on the night. Now he's got 2 penalties to his credit. There were about 20 or 30 seconds where Berezynski was basically all out assaulting Jake Tenji in front of the net there. Alan Serwall hollering for a penalty. He's come now to this bench door to try and talk to the officials and see what happened there. We've got 2 Kennesaw players in the box now. 1:20 of a 5-on-3 for South Carolina. And Alan Serwall demanding an explanation right now from the officials.
You had about 4 or 5 bodies in the crease right there on that last attempt to try and poke that puck in. And the fans cheering that the Gamecocks are on a 5-on-3.
Gagne having a bit of an exchange there with Charlie Miller on the far side. You know him better as the man who runs the Gamecock Twitter account. Charlie Miller does not come up with his tweets in the car. Does not come up with them before. They are spur-of-the-moment tweets, and they are dynamite. As this puck just escapes the reach of Brian Soar, Lynch is going to let this one go all the way around for Nick Peters. Peters on with Soar, Powderly, Corey Hawkinson, and Ben Smith on this power play. The second unit up front for South Carolina, same guys on the back end. Bringing on ahead now, a shot save made there Luke Thurston keeps it at a 2-1 game. 13:33 to go in the second. A minute exactly on the 5-on-3. Got the penalties here. Justin Berzinski, 2 for a cross-check and a 10-minute misconduct to James Barrett. That misconduct not affecting the amount of personnel on the ice. Barrett's going to be in the box, though, for 10 minutes. Hawkinson shoots one, and a nice blocker save there. Hawkinson had that top left corner dialed in, and just a little bit quick with that that right pad, the blocker hand of Luke Thurston flashes over to make the save.
Tried to go short side there, but good reflexes from Thurston, knocking that puck over, and referee blows this face-off dead.
Hawkinson eyeing up that short side cheddar. We'll have to wait a little bit longer here. 49 to go on the 5-on-3. Hawkinson stays out. He will take this face-off as we have more penalties to sort out. Gagne talking to the official about his exchange with Charlie Miller, undoubtedly. As we have more time to kill here. Important to note that disco ball hanging over center ice. Rumor has it that in the final periods of games against Clemson, they turn on the disco ball. No, I'm just kidding. Offensive zone try for the Gamecocks here. I had to come up with something. That puck chipped around Soren. Racing back is McDonald. McDonald against Peters. Peters will beat him to it. The Buffalo man has it to the left of his goaltender. Peters a stretch pass. Ben Smith's got it. It's popping right back off his stick. And McDonald backhands it out. Kept from the offsides by Peters there. Nice heads-up play. Not bringing that puck in prematurely. Peters circling, goes now to Powderly, kept back out. Gamecocks got to touch back up. Soares got it. Gamecocks are now onside. Bringing in his Powderly from the slot. Gives it to Smith. A shot hit the side of the net. Smith tried to go upstairs. Just a little off of his accuracy here. Final 10 seconds of the 5-on-3. Hawkinson down to the ice. They'll go back down low. Pin it to the boards here. Puck comes free. Man out of the box now. It's a 5-on-4 for 40 more seconds. Out of the box, swatted out of the air by Peters. No high stick there. Now a high stick. Not the penalty, just the stoppage in play. Faceoff will come outside the zone. Nick Peters with a nice hand-eye there. 34 to go on the power play. Kennesaw escapes 1. They still have another to contend with here for half a minute.
You know, always disappointing when you can't execute on an extended 5-on-3. But still 30 seconds here left on the power play. South Carolina trying to get something going. Get back in this game.
The faceoff comes all the way back down in the defensive zone for the Gamecocks. Not typical for a high stick. Either way, they work it out now to Cam Mecca over his blue line, over red line, and now opposing blue line. It's Cam Mecca with speed. Shoots one, tipped on the way to the goal, and save made there by Thurston. Centering pass, just past the stick of Van Duzen. Thurston watches from his crease. That puck bounces off Dave Murray. He'll just throw it into the corner here. Bobby Van Duzen for South Carolina. Van Duzen muscled off of it. He's got Egan helping out. They'll lose it altogether. Brought around by Bright. Bright rips it off the boards. As far as Dave Murray, penalty time has expired. Back to full strength here are the Kennesaw State Owls. Cam Mecca brings it ahead, and Spazinski sends him down. Down low again, Mecca tries to curl one to the backhand. He gets a couple of hooks in on there. Spazinski. Backhanded again. Spazinski with the physicality on Ronan Egan. He's just having to be out of the penalty box. They bring it back now. Duncan Hickman watches from the blue line. Gets involved with Cam Mecca. That puck pinned there, and now it comes free to Deere. Deere over the line, shoots one, and again going high on Zach Lynch. He likes to go upstairs. This time didn't even hit the net. Tipped in front, Lynch kicks that one out. A rebound by Deere goes into the corner. Might have gone off a stick there before it got to the net. Gamecocks have it. They'll advance it ahead. Lots of shots here by Evan Deere. 11 goals on the season for him. And now...
looks like a 2-minute men on the ice penalty. Having some trouble getting over the boards there on that line change.
Gamecocks a little overzealous on that change. They will send someone to go sit for a pair. Matt Owen's going to be the delegate from the South Carolina bench to serve this too-many-men minor.
I'm starting to see a little bit more aggression. Not a shocker that the leader in penalty minutes for this Kennesaw State team, Spazinski, coming with some huge bomb hits in the corner over here.
Trying to get something sparked for his team. They have a 2-1 lead at the moment, but I'm sure Spazinski and the rest of these Owls would like to see that lead doubled into a 3-1 lead. The 1-goal lead doubled into a 2-goal lead. I know 2 isn't doubled into 3. I knew that. I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Back out to the point now. Gamecocks in their defensive zone. Wristed from long range. Never got to the net. Zach Lynch twirling around. Anytime that puck goes in behind him, he's always spinning around. Luke Rudman in after a shorthanded on the forecheck. Rudman a nice curl to the forehand. Lost it there. And the Owls will have it. D-to-D just behind their own blue line. It's stuck in some skates here. Hard in after it is Mecca. Mecca with Rudman. Mecca's got it. Shrugging off a stick there. Either Dillon, Jacob, and now more line changes for South Carolina with a $1:20 to go on the power play. Tisdale's got it. No relation to Ashley Tisdale. In behind the goal, Duncan Hickman. All the way out, intercepted though. Now it's Spazinski in the slot, shoots one, save made by Lynch. Rebound, still kicked out by Lynch. Again, no whistle, loose in front, they score! That puck, Lynch is gonna argue his case here that he had that puck covered. No whistle had gone. The Owls tuck it home, and Spazinski's gonna let him hear it here at the Plex. 3-1 Kennesaw.
Yeah, Lynch made that original save, and the puck was left out in front. A lot of interaction there in that crease. And boy, is Hickman hot with the referee right now.
Zach Lynch practically dragged out of his crease. It looked like the puck was covered there for at least a brief moment, and the rule of thumb is if the official loses the sight of the puck for any amount of time, the play is to be blown dead. I guess the official able to see something that we were not able to see. He is much closer than we are, but Zach Lynch dragged from his net. Gagne goes D-to-D. Kennesaw with a 2-goal lead now. It's 3-1. Tenji off the turnover, comes in, shoots one. A save made there by Thurston. Jake Tenji, an energy guy for South Carolina. 9:52 to go here in the second period. Kennesaw with a 2-goal lead. Tenji, 3-5 for 8 points on the season. Trying to get things started here as the Gamecock captain wins this one back. Van Decker Cove can't get it out. Gamecocks hold this one in. Mecca underneath for South Carolina. Mecca as far as the goal line. Cycles back down low. It's Tenji. Gamecock captain still fighting for it. It comes back out. Kennesaw brings it in. Far side shot saved by Lynch. He will cover for the rebound. Justin Berezinski will have to try a little harder for his second goal of the season as Zach Lynch gobbles that puck for a face-off.
Yeah, South Carolina playing frustrated here after that last goal. Unfortunately, we don't have the wonderful stuff of video review in SEC hockey.
You can go back and look at it, but we can't. So if you do, go back, scroll back a minute and a half. Let us know if that puck was covered or not. We should have a phone number, a hotline here to call in and see if you missed anything we didn't. You missed anything, you didn't miss anything we did. The NHL has Toronto. We have you fans listening at home. In front, centering chance, bouncing in between some skates, and the Gamecocks have it now. Evan Hoey going to bring this one in, lift it back in. Ian Powderly, and after a bobbled puck there by the goaltender Luke Thurston. Far side boards, wrist shot saved by Thurston again. He'll cover up for another face-off, 8:54 to go in the period. Thurston did not expect that dump in there by Hoey.
No, he didn't, and that rebound. Luckily for Kennesaw State, no one was out there to tap that one in, but puck was just wandering out there in front of the ice.
Drew Spazinski going to get that goal unassisted. For him, that is goal number 9 on the campaign. He's got 9 and 8. 9 goals, 8 assists for 17 points. Waved out is Corey Hawkinson. Brought in for the face-off Ben Smith. He will face Spazinski. They go back to the defense. Tipped in front by Powderly and ends up in the corner. Pinching in is Oakley. Powderly fills in for him around that face-off dot. Around is Hawkinson, and Hawkinson gets buried. The puck still loose in front now, covered up. Bit of a quick whistle there as Tyler Oakley is escorted from the goaltender by some Kennesaw Owls. Thurston shaking up on the play, takes his helmet off. We've seen a lot of net front collisions involving not only the defensemen but the goaltenders themselves, and really the goaltenders should not be involved in any sort of collision. Always try to protect them because they can't protect themselves. They're so focused on stopping the puck. They got enough to deal with.
Yeah, it looked like 15 there. Oakley sliding in at the end of that play and might have hit Thurston on the top of the head, but He looks all right.
Well, Van Dekkerkove charging the net at one end for Kennesaw. Can't exactly fault the Gamecocks for doing the same here. But again, don't want to see anybody get hurt. Dave Murray curls around again. Murray tries to go for that outside-inside move. And now loose off the skates, it's going to be Deer. Deer can't hang on to it despite a bunch of swats there. Evan Deer loses possession. Gagne risks it back in. And back to get it is Blake Drummond. 8 and some change to go here in the second. Dave Murray back for South Carolina. They'll have to go further back into their own territory before they can move it any farther north. Murray at the blue line. Doesn't like what he sees, so he hangs on to it. Now brings it up to the streaking Drummond. Drummond's just going to send this one back in. Thurston lets that one go. Ronan Egan in on the forecheck. Evan Deer escapes a hit by Centracchio. Dave Murray comes over. Loose in front. Pizzo's in after it. Gagne's going to get there first. Swats it back to the near side. Evan Deer, backhander off a Gamecock defender. Comes loose in South Carolina territory. Evan Deer in after it. They'll chip this one back in. They'll have to touch up for the offsides. Still they're offsides. Pizzo's got it. Risks this one ahead. Far side corner, nobody home. And a bit of a head scratcher as to what the plan was with that one.
Yeah, we saw the same thing early on with those long stretch passes that didn't connect. Nobody home for that one. Leads to an icing for South Carolina and a chance for Kennesaw State on this faceoff.
One of those stats that I wish we could keep track of. Shots on consistently. We get the shots on goal at the end of every period, but I wish we could keep track of the icings. How many of these guys take? Because when the game gets into a lull like this, it is just icing after icing. As now things seem to wake up here. Nick Pizzo on the far side shoots one. A save made there. Easy stick save there by the goaltender Thurston. Peters sends this one in far side. No icing. He was on the good side of the red line. Kennesaw looking for the stretch pass here. They're going to get it to go, though. It works out pretty well. Nick Peters steals a chance there by Testino. And out tucked ahead. Drops one, shoots one, off a stick there. Matt Owen and Dillon Jacob trying to team up for the Gamecocks' second goal. Owen's got it. Loses it. Rudman has it now. Rudman can't hang on. The Owls move it back ahead. A bouncing puck to Van Dekkerkove. Gonna try to split the defense here. Van Dekkerkove has a stick tangled up behind the goal now. Lynch lost his net. Off the outside of the cage, and Brian Soares got this one. At the end of the period, with 6 and some change to go here, we're gonna talk to Brian Soares in the lieu of an intermission report. Talk to Soares about his role as a top pair defender, how it's been different playing with Dominic Centracchio, a new defensive partner, as this puck comes loose along the side of that. More after the whistle. Rudman getting involved, taking some shoves. Ian Powderly will not get out of there without being shoved himself. And the officials trying to maintain control here.
Kennesaw State not happy with Rudman coming in and poking the glove of Thurston there. A lot of shoving out in front.
You're down by 2 goals in the latter stages of the second period. You're trying to get anything to spark your team. Little chop at the glove there by Luke Rudman. Trying to spark something here. The Gamecocks had things going pretty well for them at the end of the first period. Their good fortune has dried up here in the second. They're going to have to work out some new creativity in order to get some more scoring chances against Luke Thurston. Thurston stopped 9 of 10 in the first. He stopped all of them so far here in the second. There's a chance by Hawkinson, goes by the wayside. Peters holds it in. Back down low, Hawkinson has that puck drop just under his stick blade. Hawkinson again. Puck pops free, back out the other way comes Kennesaw. Kept in there, a nice play by Nick Peters, and Hawkinson after it for South Carolina. Underneath they go once more, watched by Ian Powderly. Comes free, spun off there by Powderly. And Gagne's gonna have it. Curled away from Powderly by Gagne. And now they've got it. Held in at the line by Peters, but on the south side of it, they're gonna have to regroup and avoid an offsides. Soares throws this one back in, 5 to go. Thurston's got it behind the goal. Gagne chips it all the way back out, around, hit a stanchion. They've got off a player as well, and Ian Powderly underneath for South Carolina. He'll team up with Hawkinson. Kennesaw's got the puck either way. Coming through now, Ben Smith able to keep it in the zone off the stick of Ian Powderly. Back ahead, Ryan Moran. Moran, a centering pass, couldn't be held on to there. Peters back for South Carolina. Brian Soar, 6'5". At least that's how he's officially measured. He could be taller. Stick save there, denies Ben Smith. Luke Thurston ever vigilant as this puck comes out as far as center. Wristed back in by Mitch Bright. Tenji, watched by Tisdale. Puck free around the South Carolina goal. The Gamecocks have it. Wristed back underneath. A backhander comes out in the slot and the Gamecock tumbles down. Poked ahead. On now for the stick on the near side. They'll battle for it and bring it back out to the blue line. And now in a headlock, not even towards the puck. That puck comes out to the far side. Cam Mecca got absolutely tackled and sat on by Mason Bright. As this puck under one of the Gamecocks, Cam Mecca on top of it. Van Duzen try to see this puck out towards center ice. It's held into the blue line there. Van Duzen wanted a hit. Physicality picking up this one. Shot up and over the Kennesaw bench. As Deere has some more words for Jake Tenji. Seem to be friendly in nature. We'll have another face-off in South Carolina. Ice. 3:47 to go in period number 2. Gamecocks looking to climb back in this thing. Next goal is a huge one. Kennesaw gets it. They're up by 3. Gamecocks have it. They're only down by 1. Game's still very much up for grabs. It's just a matter of who decides to flip the switch first. Both teams just gently poking and prodding each other. Now centering pass, settled down in front, but the Gamecocks strip control of it. Kennesaw with some great looks through center ice. Drop pass for Mecca. Shot for the stick of Tyler Oakley. Had he been just a split second sooner, it would have been an easy tap-in a 3-2 game here. Oakley underneath. Puck held there. Testino moves it ahead for Van Dekkerkove. Van Dekkerkove's going to be the forechecker against Hoey. Van Dekkerkove spins Hoey in there. They'll battle for it. Both men go down. Hoey on top of Van Dekkerkove. Still can't be worked free. We get towards 3 minutes here to go. More players go down. More players will join the fray. And we've got a battle down here. Not exactly a fight, more of a wrestling match here. Evan Hoey's lost a helmet. Hoey, furious with one of the Owls right now. Couldn't see what was going on there at the bottom of the pile, but I can clearly see the emotions on Evan Hoey right now, and they are not good.
Yeah, Hoey came out of that pile with a face the same color as the sweater he's got on. Very heated. A lot of the aggression is starting to pick up. And South Carolina's playing really frustrated, really need to get something going.
Hoey escorted towards the penalty box, as is perhaps Van Dekkerkove. Difficult to see from up here. We'll wait to get our updates from the box. Looks like it's going to be a rough for both gentlemen currently incarcerated. They're still going after each other here. Evan Hoey not done. Some chirps from the box. Wish we had a mic there. Wish we had Pierre McGuire between the benches. Talk about Evan Hoey's junior career. Hoey actually did play, not exactly junior hockey, but with the the Junior Hurricanes up in Raleigh. Gamecocks being instructed to pull it together here by a fan. 4-on-4 will be the action here for 2 minutes. We got 2:57 to go. We got the puck down and Brian Soar underneath. Below the goal line. Nice move by Soar. He goes down. No call there. Soar trying to milk one a little bit there. Around for Hawkinson. Hawkinson barely shrugs off a check there. Gagne to the far side. Gamecocks have it. Brought in hard to the bench there. Tyler Oakley. Bringing it free now is Mecca. Mecca tries to undress a defenseman. He's got the puck. He's pulling 3 guys with him. Shoots one. Tipped in front. Rebound Soar. Oh, he shoveled it through the crease. Loose in front and still kept out. Brian Soar, a yawning cage. Couldn't tuck it in on the backhand. Oakley as far as Mecca. Mecca again can't get it to Soar. Minute 20 to go on the 4-on-4. 2 minutes to go in the period, just about. At their own blue line. McDonald for Kennesaw. Far side, Deere. Centering pass. Intercepted by Soar. Hawkinson got to sort it away from Mecca, and again, the flip pass back out. Bouncing puck. Soar in after it. Gonna make a hit there. Final minute of the 4-on-4. Brought back the other way by McDonald. Shimmies out to the right side. Steep angle shot. Save made. Rebound sent just wide. Big opportunity for Kennesaw to make it 4. Soar drops it back, but no one knew about it. Into the skates there is Zach Lynch. Dangerous. He didn't expect it, but he covers up for a face-off with a minute 35 to go in the second and 39 seconds on the 4-on-4.
Brian Soar is going to have nightmares tonight about that chance. Wide open net. Thurston diving back. Couldn't quite get there. Backhand for Soar, and he put that right to the other side of the net into Thurston. Open chance and nothing to come of it.
The goaltender was beat. Brian Soar just shoved it back into it. Some contact there with Rudman. As Kennesaw's got it, man goes down. Run ahead by Haas. Little backhand swat in there by Haas. Final 25 on the 4-on-4. A lot of ice utilized here by these players with a burst of energy. Centering pass evades everyone. Dave Murray after for the Gamecocks. Murray shrugs off a check there. Again, Kennesaw tries to move it back out front. And again, Zach Lynch going to cover that for a face-off. And Luke Thurston goes for a skate in his own zone, trying to keep himself busy.
A couple of mistakes in the defensive zone as well for South Carolina. As you saw Soar putting that one back behind the net, and no one knew where the puck was, except for Kennesaw State's forward, who created a chance on net, saved by Lynch. And then another save by Lynch here. Now a face-off.
For as end-to-end as the game in Auburn was, been an icing battle here on home ice for the Gamecocks. At the point, barely held in, they go D to D. Top of the circle shot, almost tipped in front by McDonald and ends up in the corner. Both men out of the box. 5-on-5 we skate for the final 45 here in the second period. We entered at 1-1. Right now we stand at 3-1 in favor of Kennesaw State. Gamecocks try to chip this one back out and kill the rest of the clock here in the second. Centering pass out towards center. Powderly has it knifed off his stick. McDonald the other way. 30 seconds to go. They work out to the right side. Shoot, save, rebound. Almost a chance there by Van Dekkerkove. Kennesaw can't hold that puck in. They've got to touch up. Nick Peters had more time than he thought. He just risked this one back out. 13 to go. One more chance. Van Dekkerkove tries to center one. Turning shot, backhander. Saved by Lynch. Taken into the corner by Drummond. And we will see the final seconds as that shot blocked by Ben Smith. Would have been all alone, home free. But that'll be the end of the second period here. 3-1 the score. Kennesaw State has the lead. We'll step aside for the second intermission. When we come back, we will talk to Brian Soar of the Gamecocks, talking about his defensive plays at one end and big offensive chance at the other. That'll be all up next when we come back here on the Capital City Sports Network. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network, where we are just about ready for the third period. I know we promised you an interview with Brian Soar, but due to technical difficulties again, we were unable to speak to Brian Soar, and now Duncan Hickman just walked by in street clothes. That was unexpected. Duncan Hickman apparently will not play for the rest of the game. Didn't get a chance to get into the Gamecock locker room because Alan Serwa spent the entire intermission talking to them and working through the problems, and it's a frustrated Gamecock group right now. There is no doubt about that. They've got an uphill battle here as a shot goes wide there to try and get back into this game. It's only 2 goals, but right now it feels like a mountain as they are just getting nothing to go for them offensively.
Yeah, it seemed like that unsuccessful 5-on-3 that they had at the beginning of the second period really set the tone for the rest of the period, where they couldn't get a lot of things going offensively.
Curl through the slot there, back out center point, stumbling there. He lets one go just wide of the goalpost. Deere has it smacked out of his control. Underneath, they're going to get it back. Deere tries to center one, picked up by Corey Hawkinson, escorted out of danger. Almost there. Shot up over the goalpost, over the crossbar by Drew Spazinski. He's got 1 already. Got a couple of penalty minutes to his name as well. Spazinski at the red line, sends this one in off the glass. Kennesaw came out ready to play here in this third period. Brian Soar for Bobby Van Duzen. Goes off the boards, and Kennesaw keeps it in. Van Dekkerkove sees it go to Bobby Van Duzen. Van Duzen motors on through. Backhand shot. Catches the boards in behind. Back out now, Soar at the point. Slap pass goes down low. Van Duzen after for the Gamecocks. Mecca tries to stuff one in front, and it pops all the way back up in the air. Kennesaw out, Soar on the retrieval. And a turnover, Kennesaw's got it right back. Onsides they come, offsides now. Got a little over anxious there on the skating by Tristan Gagne. 8:20 to go. Third period of a 3-1 hockey game. Goal, the lone goal for South Carolina coming all the way back in the first period off the stick of Bobby Van Duzen. Jake Tenji and Cam Mecca getting the assists on those. And now with the absence of Duncan Hickman, most likely, we'll see here, it is most likely that we see Blake Drummond, as we do right now, slot in on that side with Nick Peters. Around in front, a big shot, never stopped by Lynch because it hit Matt Owen in front of that one. Right off the, if he got that off the top of the skates where the laces are, that hurts. Luke Rudman ahead, down the right side. Throws one towards the net, poked behind the goal by Luke Thurston. Turning shot by Rudman, loose in front, they go behind the goal net. Centering for Dylan Jacob, but wasn't intending the pass there. Fielded by Drummond. Blown past, here they come, Justin Berezinski. Berezinski shoots one, save made, rebound, oh, over the goalpost there. Still getting back is Lynch, and he stuffs him there on the near side. And more after the whistle. John Testino. Big opportunity there for Kennesaw. Lynch didn't look like he was going to get over in time, and they shovel it over the goal. Lynch regains his composure and stuffs Testino on that right side, getting the pad down, the goaltender's stick in the way.
Odd man rush decided not to go for the pass there and just took the shot, and that one deflected off Lynch and set up an open net, but that one was missed by Kennesaw State, and an opportunity they certainly would have liked to have back.
Tyler Oakley now for South Carolina comes up to the near side. Back down into that corner. A lot of board play, a lot of corners, and a lot of scrums as Oakley takes a man down there. Pocket pick there. It's going to be Tisdale. Has it stripped of his control. Tisdale behind the play, wraps the Gamecock up. Back out to the point now. We'll watch that develop. Knocked down in front. Scramble now, and a delayed penalty. Somebody's mouth guard is out. More players go down. Barnett will be guilty of something.
Looks like Aaron Barnett shoved 2 Gamecocks into the goal at the end of that play, and a mouthpiece on the ice.
Not gonna lie, at first that mouthpiece looked like part of the puck had broken off, which would be something. An elbowing call is what we have here. And it's gonna be Tyler Oakley headed to the box. Gamecocks will be shorthanded here as Aaron Barnett tackles Tyler Oakley in front of the net, and Oakley gets slapped with a minor for elbowing. Again, difficult to see what goes on at the bottom of those scrums. We've had so many guys just go down to the, really a couple of wrestling matches have broken out here in the corners and in front of the net. And that time at the bottom of the pile, Tyler Oakley throws an elbow that he will get tagged for. And a chance for the Owls to put a stamp on this one and make it 4-1. All important, probably the most important penalty kill tonight for South Carolina. This puck comes all the way up in the air. Swatted down. Centracchio after it. He'll have to watch as they go underneath. In rotation. Popped off the back of the net. Held in at the blue line, but just backed out. And Van Dekkerkove drifting in on Lynch. He'll just block this one ahead to Brian Soar. Pace slowing down to a crawl here in the third period. 16:30 to go. Gamecocks try to move it out shorthanded. Talked to Duncan Hickman earlier about the Gamecocks forechecking more on the penalty kill as Soar risked this one all the way back out. A skipping puck redirected into the corner by Luke Thurston as they go in after it. Some difficulty there. McDonald going to get it now for Kennesaw. Loose in front, Mecca being disruptive as ever on this penalty kill. Just a minute to go on it. Owls not really able to set up any good chances as they bring guys in. Definitely offsides there. Mitchell Bright going to be the guilty party. He'll send himself back to the bench for a line change with exactly 16 to go here in the period.
Yeah, good job on the penalty kill so far by South Carolina. Not a lot of chances for Kennesaw State. They'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone, and South Carolina trying to get something going and get back in this game.
Head coach of the Kennesaw State Owls, Joel Konsowitz. Assistant coaches are Brett Lester and Jordan Cruz. Joel Konsowitz, the mastermind behind the power play here, is a turning shot. Hit the stick there as Zach Lynch. And they'll shove it back out now at the blue line. That puck came out, yes sir. Very close there. A watchful eye of the official blows this play down as probably no more than a credit card in between the blue line and that puck. But it was offsides, and another face-off here. More chances materialize for Kennesaw State, but they are stopped just short there on their attempted zone entry. As they regroup again here at this red line. Up off the skate there, that popped back awkwardly. Testino tried to move that one ahead. It went off his skate in the complete opposite direction. Now a slapper down the ice. Goes as far as Gagne. Gagne through center, right over that Lexington Medical Center sign at center ice. 7 to go on the penalty. Tyler Oakley in the box for elbowing. Puck swatted at and held there. And neither one of the Gamecock penalty-killing forwards can come away with it. Out of the box is Oakley. The Gamecocks killed off here. 15 to go in period number 3. South Carolina trying to erase a 2-goal deficit. Bright drops it off. Peters down for the Gamecocks. They'll shovel this one in down low. Evan Hoey on it now. Hoey's got his helmet reattached. He lost it in the corner scrum early on in the second period. And now Spazinski getting involved with Peters. Bright brings it in. Tries to center one. Can't get through the skates of Ian Powderly. And now a chance in front off the far side board. Smith ahead for Powderly. With Nick Peters on that right side. Turns up at the blue line. Peters goes down. Puck comes free. Into the high slot area. They'll swat at it. Kenesaw's got it. Going to be a 2-on-1 back the other way. More Gamecocks come back. It's going to be McDonald. He's swatted at there by Ian Powderly. Puck to the far side now. McDonald gets around the Gamecock defenders. Centering pass. McDonald can't get a stick on it. Loose in the top of the crease there. All the way back down the ice. Icing called yet again.
Really not a lot going now for either team. Kennesaw State with a chance out there in front, but nobody home. And South Carolina chooses to ice it. Keep that puck and Kennesaw State from any further offensive chances.
Now probably a good time to note that those of you watching at home are not the only ones watching this game. Thanks to some connections we have, Charlie Miller and Breakers in 5 Points. This game being streamed all the way back to campus. Those people in Breakers at least glancing up at the television to see Gamecock hockey. Probably the first time in history that we have had Gamecock hockey in any of those establishments. As a face-off here, we'll come back to the left of Zach Lynch. Trying to get the good game of hockey spread to more and more people here in the South. We saw some record turnouts here in the weeks past against Georgia and Clemson. Kennesaw State, a lesser-known foe. Turned out a bit thin here tonight. But as we said, we've got a video audience. Those of you watching in breakers probably can't hear me right now, but that's all right. Gamecocks have it. Only temporarily, and blowing a tire there is Soar. 2-0. Tisdale shoots and scores. Tisdale as Soar blows a tire. It's 4-1 Kennesaw State with 13:44 to go in the third.
Soar has been a rock on defense for this team all season, and today's just not his day, unfortunately. A lot of missed opportunities on defense, and we saw it there. As you said, Dillon, he blew a tire in the back and led for an open 2-on-0 chance with the goalie, and a nice little backhand move there. Open up the forehand shot to the right of Lynch to make this one a 3-goal deficit.
Still a lot of time left in this game. 4-1 Kennesaw. The assists on that goal coming from Mitchell Bright as well as Justin Beretzinski. And we'll have more things being sorted out here along that far side. And the penalty box. Really just not a night here for Brian Soar. And apparently the issue at the penalty box, as it is being texted to me right now, there is no roster number 2 for Kennesaw State. Mitchell Bright listed as number 3 on one website, listed as number 2 on another. He's wearing number 2 tonight. The discrepancy, apparently Mitchell Bright does not, well, apparently number 2 doesn't exist. So we will sort this out. Major existential crisis here for Mitchell Bright. Our thoughts go out to him. Waiting for it to be like Back to the Future where Marty McFly just starts to fade away from that picture. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. That would be astounding. Meanwhile, as we turn our attention back to whatever's going on here, the Gamecocks looking ahead. One more game separates them from the SEC tournament, and it's going to be a little bit of deja vu. Tomorrow night, 9:15 here at the Plex, Gamecocks take on the visiting Kennesaw State Owls. Right now, the game stands at 4-1. We're waiting for that goal to be put up on the scoreboard here, and we're also waiting for more things to be sorted out.
I don't know the outcome of this. I
hope not.
I don't think they could overturn the goal for not having him on the roster, but
No.
the goal has not been put up on the scoreboard yet. And now, looks like Jake Tingy talking with the referee. Goes back to the bench.
No, the goal will stand regardless of who's on the roster or not. They'll probably make an extra slot. They may receive a bench minor here for inappropriately managed roster. Written down as number 3 on the roster sheet. All good, yeah, basically confirming what I said. Mitchell Bright listed as number 3 on the official game sheet submitted to the penalty box before the match. Wearing number 2 tonight. Matter of fact, I even have 2/3 Mitchell Bright listed on my game notes here, just in case he was either or. Back underway here, though. Scoreboard says 3-1, but it's 4-1 Kennesaw. Shot, he scores! Make that 5-1. Max Haas right in front. Kennesaw makes it a 4-goal lead here. 13.5 to go in the third.
And no one on this South Carolina team looks too happy right now. Lynch hesitating to play that puck behind the net and left it open for a Kennesaw State player to set up a pass and easy tap in up top of that goal. And it looks like number 15, Tyler Oakley, talking to Lynch, trying to get his hopes up. Down 4 goals now, 13:30 to play.
Still a lot of time, a lot of ground to make up. Nothing is impossible, but when you see the lead margin to 5-on-1, or to 5-2-1, a bit disheartening, and the odds certainly seem long for South Carolina. Right now, they just try to find the silver lining, try to find something to build on, because they're going to see these guys tomorrow night, less than 24 hours. Van Duzen brings it ahead. Centering pass right in front for Mecca, and he couldn't connect. That's one way to do it. Again, going to be Haas bringing one in. Trying to move one to the backhand. He's watched there closely by Peters, and a big hit there by Nick Peters. Haas goes down. Van Duzen, watch closely, shoots it up off the boards. Hits a man up high, it's Oakley. More players connect. Long shot from the point, catches the glass, sails over the head of Zach Lynch, and moved down Nick Peters. As we said, if this game got into less than close territory on the scoreboard, we said we'd see the physicality turn up and maybe more penalties. Still a lot of time for that thought to become a reality. They'll chip this one back out ahead towards center. Owen brings it ahead. Hits the top of the circles and dumps it in. Rudman gives chase into assists. And now underneath, going to be coming to Nick Peters. Peters works it free. Turning around in the slot area, shot there. Knocked down in front, it sails into the corner yet again. We've slowed down to a crawl here in South Carolina. Up ahead, Kennesaw brings it. Now they've got some speed. McDonald, nice one touch between his own legs. McDonald on with it. Now gets it back. Oh, nice shot there. Beautiful give and go. McDonald from John Testito.
Great puck movement there by Kennesaw State. It is important to note right now that South Carolina's playing without one of their leaders in Duncan Hickman. Still no word on the situation there, but it's definitely important playing it without one of your leaders, Dillon.
Duncan Hickman, always a voice of reason and calm on that South Carolina bench. As much of a leader as Jake Tenji or Nick Pizzo or Brian Soar, any of these seniors that have been here for as long as anyone else. Brian Soar moves it ahead. Luke Rudman. Now trying to field that puck out of his skates is Matt Owen. They'll get it all the way down and around. And pressuring now is Dillon Jacob. Brian Soar. Back at center. Centracchio with it now. D to Soar. 11 to go. 5-1 Kennesaw. Knocked down in front. Soar nearly taking that possession away from him. Centracchio comes back to bail him out. Swatted out by Colby Musgrave. And back it comes again to Brian Soar. In front of the Gamecock bench, it comes back in once again. Centracchio, watched by Musgrave. They'll bring it out with speed. Hawkinson sends it through the zone. Outside, more contact. Evan Hoey at the red line sends it back in. Up and off the glove. Luke Thurston tried to glove that one down. Rolling puck comes all the way back out to the blue line. Ben Smith's going to hold it back in and rip this one around. Underneath will be Drummond and Corey Hawkinson. Hawkinson leading the team with 9 assists. He has none so far tonight. A long shot, awkwardly saved there by Zach Lynch. This puck again swatted out by a diving Lynch. Moved into the corner there. Lynch not afraid to dive out and vacate his net. Sometimes it helps him, sometimes it hurts him. Ian Powderly ahead for Hawkinson. He's got Ben Smith joining the rush. Just too far for the stick of Corey Hawkinson as both men go into the board. Squirting out into the slot is that puck. Drummond shoots one just wide of the glove there. Hawkinson after it again. Around it comes, watched by Ben Smith. Smith for Powderly. 2 goals last week, none so far tonight. Powderly circles. Wearing 18 last season, 7 this year. A bomb there from Evan Hoey. He got all of that shot, but it hit a man in front. And now Hoey winds up for a hit, but they get through anyway. It's going to be Deere. And again, Zach Lynch dives out for that puck loose. Lost his net. And Zach Lynch is behind the net right now, trying to get his net back. And again, they turn it over. Another shot saved by Lynch. Whistled now. And the best word I can come up with right now is just discombobulated. That's the only word that accurately describes South Carolina right now.
Pretty accurate. Lynch still hesitating on those decisions where those in-betweeners where you can either fall on the puck or, in that case, he dove for it. And mistakes on the defensive end have really killed the Gamecocks today. They're going to need to step that up tomorrow and hopefully build up some confidence before the SEC tournament. At
this point, the mantra is make the safe play. Zach Lynch being extremely risky right now at times when the smartest move is to just stay in your net. A redirection in front. Lynch squeezes the angles together. He's got that puck in between. And another face-off to his left with 8:42 to go in the third.
Donald getting a little fancy there out front. between the legs backhand. Don't see that too often.
We've seen Ian McDonald, team leader in points with 34. Well, he's tied with Jeremy Van Dekkercove with 34 points after an assist tonight. Brought ahead now by Cam Mecca with Van Dusen breaking to the goal. Mecca shoots one, save made, rebound just through the goal mouth there. Gamecocks looking to make it 5-2. Looking to draw the gap a little bit closer. Centering pass avoids everyone. Tyler Oakley taps it back down low. Van Dusen around, puck around the horn now. Near side, about half the team comes together there. Everybody creeping in, trying to find that puck out of a scrum. No one can really move that puck. Finally, it's going to be moved back out. Peters, a chance in front, tip there, and a big save. How does he make that stop? Luke Thurston thrashing around in the crease, making 2, even 3 saves there to keep this a 5-1 game.
Really impressive save there, and when you're having the night that the Gamecocks are having, nothing can really go your way. In this game, you always need skill, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and nothing going for the Gamecocks right now.
Tyler Oakley looked like he had a yawning cage there. All he had to do was tuck it in, but this is one of those nights where the Gamecocks maybe in their own heads a little bit, unable to finish. Tyler Oakley as well as Brian Soar on that chance earlier on. Just a dazzling save there by Luke Thurston. It's dazzling saves. I think he made more than one. This puck drifting back towards the blue line. Brian Soar's going to shift all the way back up. Dominic Centracchio. Centracchio tries to get it ahead to Egan. A save made there. That stick loosely held by Zach Lynch. I don't know if you can hear that puck hit the stick. Made an awkward sound. In the zone, Kennesaw State. They'll shovel it back down below. 7 and some change. 26 seconds worth. And a 5-1 hockey game. Ronan Egan ahead now for Nick Pizzo. Pizzo centering pass can't be moved up to the stick there. And now Soares is going to swat it in. And he is taken down. And Brian Soares not happy about it. He got the skates kicked out from under him there. Evan Deere going after Brian Soares there. And that one, he will not get away with. A trip for Evan Deere. And the Gamecocks go to the power play here.
Yeah, a little Karate Kid sweep the leg action there. Soar hit the ice pretty hard. And yeah, that's not going to add to Soar's night at all. Pretty rough on his end. Gamecocks overall really not playing well, and hopefully this penalty spark a little bit of life.
Any sort of momentum you can use going towards next game, especially when you play the same team. Back for Tyler Oakley. On the power play, the Gamecocks try to get some structure here. Tipped in, Ben Smith in after it. Below the goal line, Powderly tries to reverse for Ben Smith, comes back out now. Tyler Oakley. Oakley, Smith in the slot. Powderly turns over shoulder, shoots one, save made. Oh, it's swatted out of the air. A beautiful defensive play there. Back out to the point it comes. Nick Peters. Long shot in front for Ben Smith, and he fanned on it. Ben Smith, wide open goal. Tipped in front, Powderly. And I'm not sure Thurston got made the save there. But it comes all the way back out. Lynch out of his net to play it. He'll let it go. Tyler Oakley back for South Carolina. Avoids John Testino. Hawkinson with a rolling puck. Advances that one ahead. And another miscommunication. South Carolina not where the pass is intended to go. They work it back. A skipping puck. Held in by Peters. Shoveled back. Hawkinson can't get it in towards slot territory. Hawkinson got to get it out of the feet of Ben Smith. Smith below, tries to tuck it in front, loose there under the glove now of Luke Thurston. And another face-off here. 51 seconds to go on the penalty. 5:58 to go in the third.
Yeah, Thurston's been good so far. This is really the first time in a while so far this game that South Carolina has had a sequence of good chances on net in the offensive zone. But Thurston coming up big and preventing this South Carolina team from getting back on the board.
Really just miscommunication after miscommunication for South Carolina. As they move it back out to Dave Murray. 2 guys in front, tipped.
Oh, and heavy shoving out in front right now.
And Van Dusen's going after someone. Van Dusen lost a stick. Van Dusen wants whoever that, I don't know who that is, but Van Dusen's going after him.
Looks
Bobby
like
Van
20.
Dusen and Mason Bright. Van Dusen on top of Bright right now. The officials having to rip Bobby Van Duzen from Bright. They'll try to separate him. Van Duzen is pinned on the ice right now. Bright pulled out of that scrum. They've got Van Duzen back to his feet. And it's not unlikely for Bobby Van Duzen to have skated his last shift here. Mason Bright still letting him have it, though.
Corporate Bob, as the boys call him, trying to ignite something for his team. Down 4 here, and very, very aggressive here towards the end of the game.
Let's skate Bobby Van Duzen right to the penalty box. Surprising to say that he is still in the game. And we've seen in recent seasons and recent games, even this year, that kind of stuff would not stand. Usually resulting in, he might get a 10-minute misconduct for that, but even then, at that point, you get a 10-minute misconduct with 5:41 left in the game. They just send you back, tell you to hit the showers. The official's having a conversation with Van Duzen, and there he goes. Bobby Van Duzen,
to the applause of this Irmo crowd,
heads back to the showers. Van Duzen, a goal tonight. He's got a fight. Should Van Duzen have gotten an assist, that would have been good for the Gordie Howe hat trick. Van Duzen coming 1 assist shy. And I can't remember the last time we saw a Gordie Howe hat trick here at the Plex. Because we're gonna call that a fight. Van Duzen was going after Mason Bright. We'll get it sorted out here. Alan Surwa wanting to know the specifications here of how they'll play this penalty. 34 seconds to go on the minor to Kennesaw, and that'll be it. Mason Bright's gonna head off as well. He gives the Gamecock fans a wave here, pointing to the scoreboard, naturally. Thank you to Mason Bright for the score. Initially saying it was 5-2. I don't know if you caught that there. It is 5-1, Mason Bright.
If you're going to taunt the fans about the score,
At least get the score right.
you're going to want to get it right.
We have fun here in Irmo. Always interaction between the fans and the players. The Gamecocks need one more skater to play 4-on-4. And maybe those will just be offsetting minors and won't affect the personnel here. Yep, official signals towards the bench, 5-on-4. Gamecocks still on the power play. They'll have to do it without Bobby Van Duzen. Van Duzen, 8 goals on the season, 3 assists for 11 points. The Gamecocks win this one. Soar throws one on goal, and Thurston makes that save. On the retrieval, they work it. Back down low, wheeling out in front of Chance there, wouldn't go. Peters muscled off the puck there. Drifting back out towards center, Dave Murray. Back for Nick Peters. Peters, a nice move. And he's able to keep that puck in, bringing it ahead now. Murray, that puck bounces over a few sticks. And now thrown back in by Matt Owen. Soar got that puck at the center point. Penalty over, a long shot. Skipped over the goal line, tipped back on net. Off the dasher, run off a skate. And Thurston's got that one for another faceoff. 5:02 to go in the third.
Yeah, a couple chances going on that power play for South Carolina. We'll go back to 5-on-5. Score remains the same. And really nothing going offensively since the beginning of the first period for South Carolina. Meanwhile, Kennesaw State, they put up 5 goals on Lynch due to a lot of defensive mistakes.
Luke Rudman back for Evan Hoey. As Hoey takes some contact, Rudman throws that one on goal. We're back at 5-on-5 here. Owls bring this one ahead. Oakley wrists it back the other direction. Back to get it now, the goaltender, Luke Thurston. Thurston lets it go for his defenseman. Really in no rush here, as this one is all but in the books. They'll just kill time in behind their own net. Oakley throws this one back in. And Oakley sends Drew, was that Drew Spazinski? Down to the net. Bright off a skate, 4:24. Ahead now, Luke Rudman in his own zone. They'll lay it out towards center. Dillon Jacob drops it for Rudman. A shot never got on goal. Past the glove there of Thurston. Kept in, they'll move it around. Roaring back ahead is Evan Deere. Deere wrangled off the bar earlier in the first period. The centering pass never connected, intended for this tape of Justin Berzinski. Near side, Mitchell Bright wraps it back around. And Hoey takes a solid contact there. Oakley checked once more. Back to the point, Brzezinski. Wrapped underneath. Evan Hoey, and now we've got interference penalty here. Aaron Tisdale just getting all up in the grill of Zach Lynch. Really for no reason. He skated right through the crease there. No regard for Zach Lynch, and Zach Lynch isn't happy. They might go after him here. Tisdale going to have to be convinced to go to the penalty box. Pleaded even. He'll go peaceably though. Gamecocks will go back to the power play here. 3:41 to go in the third. A 2-minute minor for interference of the goaltender variety. Tisdale still arguing his case, trying to plead his innocence, and he was merely trying to get to the puck, but can't skate through the goaltender there. Power play for South Carolina as Zach Lynch resets his net. Somehow got knocked off its moorings and all that. Another face-off in Kennesaw territory. After this, Kennesaw State most likely getting some hotels here because what are we talking about a 4-hour drive from South Carolina to Kennesaw State? Hotels here for the boys, so don't have to keep going back and forth. Back to Brian Soar now. They'll go low to Nick Peters. Peters tries to bring it out of his skates. Gonna get beaten here. Kicked up and ahead. Justin Brzezinski gets it over and offsides. Shorthanded chance for Kennesaw State. John Testino. Almost a chance for a second goal of the game.
Saved by the whistle there, Dillon. Odd man rush, 2-on-1. And whistle bailed out Zach Lynch in this Gamecock defense.
We got 5-on-3 right now. The officials making sure that Justin Brzezinski gets back to the bench in exchange for Tristan Gagne. Face-off rolls into South Carolina territory. They'll go D-to-D. Brian Soar escapes Haas. Goes to Peters. Peters back up for Soar. That puck just popping back off his tape. Now Brian Soar goes after Haas. Bit of a collision there in front of the Kennesaw bench. Now below they work it. Under the goal line. Back out for Soar. Soar off the boards. Too hot to handle. But a chance in the slot. To the backhand. They can't get it there. And another turning shot. Popped up and batted at there. A glove save. Knuckleball. Gloved and held by Luke Thurston.
Good reflexes there by Thurston. Puck bouncing several different ways in front of the net. A little snag there. Glove save. With a minute left on this penalty.
When you see a lull like this, in terms of the power play, as Jake Tenji is waved back on the ice here, when power plays struggle, they kind of revert back, to the same tendencies, trying to work the puck out to the point. The Gamecocks aren't even doing that. They're just spinning their wheels in the offensive zone. Things obviously aren't working. The inspiration is not there, obviously. And really, it hasn't been there since the end of the first period. The Gamecocks never came back out for the second. Going through the motions, really, here in the latter two stages. A team that has played much better than this game would have you believe. 8-3 on the year, including 5-1 in the SEC. Luckily, that number 3 seed in the SEC tournament locked up right now. They cannot rise or fall. The matchups have been set. They will play Auburn. There's a collision there. Teammate on teammate for South Carolina. Loose in the slot. They'll try to work it back down low. As we said, the matchup has been set. The Gamecocks will play number 6 ranked Auburn, someone with whom they are very familiar. As now Cam Mecca takes one to go. Shot off the crossbar. Cam Mecca. What a chance there. Bar and out. Almost identical to what happened to Evan Deere. A skipper on goal. Save made by Thurston. The final 90 seconds here in period 3. McDonald in after it for Kennesaw State. He surveys the slot. Doesn't like what he sees, so he goes back down underneath the goal for South Carolina. Jake Tenji knocked off the puck there, playing through a knee injury. Talked to him before the game. He said it felt okay to go. If it starts giving him trouble, he will sit out tomorrow's game. Bobby Van Duzen and Ben Smith will sit out tomorrow's game. They will not be able to make it. And now an awkward save there. Kind of a backhand glove save by Zach Lynch. But being thrown out of the game, I don't believe Bobby Van Duzen would be eligible for play either way, which raises some questions as to whether or not Van Duzen will be allowed to play in the first game. Well, I guess still technically, regardless of whether he shows up tomorrow night or not, Van Duzen, he'll still be serving his one-game suspension. Brzezinski at center. Under a minute to play here. Gamecocks just trying to limp to the finish line really at this point, as Kennesaw has had their feet on the gas all game long. Gamecocks never came out for the second period. Far side. Dillon Jacob trying for one last effort here, trying to take anything they can away from this game and learn from their mistakes, learn from their opponent, who they will see in a matter of hours. That shot kicked out into the corner. And after it, they'll wrap it back around. 9:15 the start time tomorrow. We'll talk to Alan Serwa, see if he intends to start Kyle Gradsky or Zach Lynch. Zach Lynch, as of the horn hitting zeros, Zach Lynch now falls to 6-2 on the season. The Gamecocks to 8-4. That'll do it here from the Plex. Final score, Kennesaw State 5, South Carolina 1. We'll step aside, bring you a brief post-game recap. Not much to recap here, really. Pretty cut and dry hockey game. But when we come back, it'll be the post-game recap here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. Sorry, unsure if we were actually on there for a second. Welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. The post-game recap here, and not much to recap. The Gamecocks fall 5-1 here at the hands of the Kennesaw State Owls, and a promising start for South Carolina. Things just really seemed to fall apart as soon as the puck dropped in the second period.
Yeah, they couldn't get anything going offensively. Like I said, after that missed opportunity on the 5-on-3 power play for South Carolina, they really couldn't get anything going offensively for the rest of the game. And Thurston played a good game for Kennesaw State, but South Carolina, a lot of mistakes. 26
saves on 27 shots for Thurston. His sixth shutout of the year eludes him, but only barely, only because of that Bobby Van Duzen goal. Van Duzen, who was later tossed out for that altercation in the corner. The guys were singing his praises, though, in the locker room afterwards. Alan Surwa said, again, not their best effort, and it's always interesting to see when you come off such a great effort against Auburn and things kind of fall apart, not going your way, and really the Gamecocks could not get anything going their way. The puck luck was 100% against them in that game.
Yeah, it was all Kennesaw State from the second period on, and they got to take this game and realize what they did wrong and try to make some strides to fix it tomorrow night against Kennesaw State, and then try and build some confidence working into the tournament.
Coach Surwa emphasizing the importance of getting the split here against these Owls and keeping his sights fixed on regionals beyond the SEC tournament, which is the next stop after tomorrow night's game against Kennesaw State. That will be a 9:15 start time. We'll be right back here at the Plex. Dillon Clark with Zach McKinstry. We will be there with you tomorrow as we have been tonight. Thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks to everyone who has been a part of this broadcast. Could not do without you. Good night, Carolina. Forever to thee.
You are watching the Capital City Sports Network on SGTV.